Welcome viewers, if there are any. Welcome to the second part of my Bratislava trip. Today we are going to cycle an amazing gravel route along the river Little Danube, or as it's called in Slovakian, Maly Dunaj. I found the route on the site gravelmap.com. The original is 190 kilometers long and has an incredible gravel ratio of 100%. I was intrigued and planned to ride the entire left side, but I had to shorten the trip a bit and stop here in Dunaj. The reason for this was that heavy rainfalls had made the paths very muddy and difficult to ride on this weekend. The heat and my exhaustion from the day before didn't help either. If you're interested, you can find the links to the original and to my route, which still has more than 75% gravel, in the description. Stay tuned, the route is really interesting. The delicious Ayurvedic breakfast you saw at the beginning realigned my chakras and gave me the strength to start this trip. Here we are already on the outskirts of Bratislava, and as we gravel bikers often do, I have left a perfectly good paved bike path for this gravel road. The start of the route was a lively mix of gravel and cycle paths with interesting structures to see. The route was sometimes wider and sometimes narrower. I came by several lakes or ponds which were crowded with people seeking refreshment on this hot Saturday. The route is mostly gravel, and to be on tarmac is really the exception. However, you're almost always close to the Little Danube. At this point, I was enjoying my ride and was in a good mood. The route runs mostly through fields, and it might happen that you will end up at the closed gate. It was only a small detour to get back on track, and I removed the obstacle from the route you can download. After about 2 hours in, I decided it was time for a break. I had deliberately added this supermarket on the route. Some healthy snacks, water and an espresso from a nearby ice cream stand, and I was back on track. However, after the break, I found it hard to get back into my flow. Here I was standing at the next locked gate, and this detour was a bit longer. As I continued, the paths got worse and my progress slowed. The heavy rains of the previous days had made the tracks very muddy. Like very, very muddy. Tried to avoid the puddles as much as possible, but sometimes the only way was straight through. The next section was a bit of a gamble. Komoot lists it as an off-grid segment. I didn't know if I could get through or not, but the whole place turned out to be the birthplace of gravel, a gravel pit. To my surprise, there were workers there that Saturday. Are gravel bikers and gravel workers friends? I didn't want to find out, so I left as quickly as I could. At this point, my progress, fitness and mood were not that great anymore, so I made the decision to shorten the route and divert towards Dunaj. Although there was a gravel road, I decided to stay on tarmac this time. A train from open access railway operator Leo Express took me back to Bratislava. You can buy tickets directly at the station, but the counter opens only a couple of minutes before departure, as the lady selling the tickets is also the conductor of the train. The price for this 50-kilometer ride plus bicycle transport was really good value for the money. We arrived at Bratislava main station on time, and this is where the video could end. But due to a construction on the line to Vienna, we actually passed it the day before, I had to go to the second train station of Bratislava, Bratislava. The most direct route was straight through the city, and the cycle paths in Bratislava are usually great. But at this trip, I had to carry my bike a lot. I have to say I followed Komoot's suggested route blindly. There might be better options. It would not be the last time I carried my bike. I followed this beautiful cycle path that ended directly in a building. I never saw that before. There was also a lift, but it was out of order and also full of piss. The rest of the route was great to ride, and I wonder if these cycle paths have always been there or have been added recently. I arrived in Bratislava and walked to my train, which that day consisted of 3 trains. The trio soon started its journey towards Vienna.
Please find the train's information in Ultra stop.
So what do I think of this route? Would I recommend it? It's difficult, and before you consider going there, you should note that there is a very bike-friendly area in the north of Bratislava. There are paved and gravel roads that are popular with local cyclists. It might be the nicer place to go. As beautiful as it was also difficult to ride, at least when I was there. And I would put it this way, I think you have more fun there with a mountain bike than with a gravel bike. If it's for you or not, you have to decide for yourself. Thank you for watching and see you next time.